2015 has been a landmark year because collective wisdom of the world decided on two important issues. First, on two important issues. First, 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and second, very ambitious balanced agreement on climate change. It was historic because both of these provide an assurance to the 7 billion people of the world that there will be sustainable development on all fronts and there will be justice for the poorer sections of the society and poorer countries. I congratulate world leadership for coming out with this solution and provide reassurance to the world. We must collectively work towards building a more equitable world, as only an equitable world can be sustainable. India attaches utmost importance to 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development since the agenda articulates international development priorities and global development cooperation for the next 15 years. The centrality and overarching objective of poverty eradication in the new agenda is something we consider extremely important. We welcome the fact that all countries are expected to take measurable actions to implement 2030 Agenda. The reaffirmation of principle of CBDR as the underlying basis of agenda amply signifies that universality does not amount to uniformity of action. We attach more importance to the agreement which recognizes the role of means of implementation and a document with a standalone goal on financial, technological and systemic support for developing countries. We are particularly pleased with the agreement on the creation of technology facilitation mechanism, and we hope that with its creation, the transformative power of technology could be utilized for sustainable development solutions. As mandated by 2030 Agenda itself, the processes for follow-up and review must remain voluntary, country-led, positive in nature, and should reinforce mutual learning and exchange of best practices. The purpose of the review mechanism must be to enhance the implementation of the agenda on the ground and to this extent ensure the provision of enhanced level of financial and technological support to developing countries. Mr. Chairman, under dynamic leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India has started already taking actions on all these things. And we have taken since September 26 initiatives which are essentially, and you will get the copy of it. Just to name few, we have built for empowerment of women, we have built 15 million toilets in 1 year. We have built more than 5 lakh toilets for girl students in schools where there were no separate toilets. We are providing 50 million LPG gas connections to the women who are using firewood today for their cooking needs. We have levied tax of $6 per ton of coal production or coal import. It's a huge taxation. No country in the world, I hope, that it has levied $6, and this can be replicated by many countries. We have issued biometric identity cards to 1 billion people, and therefore all the subsidies and benefits to the poorer sections are now going directly in the bank accounts of the poor people, and therefore the leakages and other problems are now getting over. We have reformed waste management rules, and we have reserved $6 billion for faster afforestation. There are many such, I just named few, 5 or 6, but there are 26 major initiatives which India has taken, and therefore all this shows our commitment in this regard. The SDGs will have very significant resource implication. That's the main point which I want to raise. As world will require $5 to $7 trillion per year. Total investment needed in developing countries alone could be around 3 to 9 trillions per year. So, food security, infrastructure, climate change mitigation, adaptation, health, education for India, as per preliminary estimates, the average financial requirement is USD 500 billion per annum for next 15 years. This is a huge amount. Therefore, every country is on test. Developed world will be tested whether it is adopting sustainable consumption in their own countries and provide means of implementation to developing countries or not. And developing countries would be tested for planning comprehensively for achieving SDGs and utilize properly the funds provided by the developed world. Both groupings will be tested on how they walk the talk and eradicate poverty. I thank you all.
I thank His Excellency Prakash Javadekar,